90.5 The Night, Brookdale Public Radio. Good evening. Jeff Raspe here with you. I've got a very special guest, one of the finest songwriters in the country at the moment, I would venture to say. Mr. Griffin House is in the house.
How are you?
How are you? Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
It has been, we were talking about this off the air, it has been now 3 summers, the summer of 2008, I think, since I saw you last. You and the Sons of William took part in our Songwriters in the Park series over in Red Bank, and we thank you for that. That was definitely one of the highlights of that summer, and probably of the series as a whole, too. But I remember that summer, your night was definitely one of the ones that a lot of people were looking forward to.
It was really fun. I remember it being a really beautiful night out there.
Yeah.
It's fun to play by the water outside in the summer. It's pretty good.
Well, yeah, which I guess, I mean, a lot of people probably don't realize, unless they've been there or have some reason to know this, a river runs through Nashville where you live. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we all found out earlier this year when the big floods happened.
Yeah.
How'd you fare in that, by the way?
Our house wasn't damaged. Water came up really close to the back door, but
really?
Just down the street from me, not even a mile, less than a week after the floods. I mean, I was going with, friends, just like loading up trucks and taking food and supplies to people that lived really close to me, but closer to the river, and they had water up into the second story of their houses, and It looked like a war zone down there. So,
unfortunately, it happened earlier this year, and a lot of things were lost, but all in all, I mean, I think I just read that the Grand Ole Opry just reopened. Something like that. They got really hit. They
did. They got crushed in there. I think they're kind of going back and forth on like insurance policy stuff on that and all that, but hopefully it'll be open really soon.
And there's actually, you have a song on your new album called River City Lights, which I'm guessing is essentially about Nashville.
It's actually about Cincinnati and the Ohio River.
Which is another river town.
Yeah. I used to there's 7 hills in Cincinnati like there are in Rome, and from certain vantage points you can look out and see the river light up with the skyline at night, and just it's pretty a magical view sometimes. So
yeah, because I for whatever reason I tend to forget that you're actually from Ohio.
Yeah.
Because I think of you as a Nashville guy. I guess you've been there for a lot of years now.
I've been there on and off since 2003, but yeah, I'm totally Ohio, all the way.
Now, something that's been mentioned a lot is actually the fact that you got into this game a little bit later than most people would have done.
Yeah.
And is it just that the muse didn't strike you until recently?
I always loved music. It just never occurred to me that I could do it because I didn't have come from a musical background at all, and playing an instrument or singing seemed like impossible to me. So I'd never even tried. But I used to like disappear into my bedroom when I was a early teenager, or maybe even before then, and just crank up records as loud as I could and sing them. Practice singing them, or pretending I was the lead guitar player and taking an amazing solo somewhere.
And since we do have you here, and you've got a guitar and a voice, and Clint has a guitar, maybe it's time to play one.
Let's do that. It happens on the beach when I'm drunk again and I don't want to be. It happens on the beach when I'm drunk again and I don't want to be. You're the morning after the morning after you and I gave in to our sin. And I'll stay with you, my until I waste away. Yes, I'll stay with you, my love, until I waste away. Waste another day, waste another day with me, my love. Waste another day, waste another day with me, my love. 'Cause when I caught your glance, well, I saw something in you that I long to heal. And I'll stay with you, my love, until I waste away. Yes, I'll stay with you, my love, until I waste away. Battles on the grave, the words are falling out like endless rain on the sea. Battles on the grave, the words are falling out like endless rain on the sea. Waste another day, and is it sad enough?
I was a liberal arts major in college.
I didn't speak a second language.
What could I?
What could I offer the Peace Corps?
The answer surprised me. I served in South Africa teaching HIV/AIDS awareness.
Working with my students in Nicaragua was a great experience. We taught each other a lot about our countries and cultures.
This is the Peace Corps today.
Redefine your world. Join the Peace Corps.
Apply now at peacecorps.gov.
.5 The Nights, Brookdale Public Radio. That's Griffin House, live on the air with me, Jeff Raspe. Well, I think you're getting the hang of it, that songwriting thing. You're definitely getting the hang of it. As evidenced by the fact that even in your relatively short time doing this, a lot of people have not hesitated to step up and help you out on stuff, including, I know on the new album, The Learner, on that song we were talking about a moment ago, River City Lights, you have the voice of an angel singing with you.
Yeah, Alison Krauss sang on it. It's pretty great.
And then because I'm a liner notes junkie, I looked closely enough to realize that there's a Dan Wilson involvement in there. Dan from Semisonic, and some of us are old enough to remember Trip Shakespeare.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I remembered that people in this area, the Jersey Shore area, if they didn't make it out to Riverside Gardens Park a couple of summers ago, they may have seen you at the Paramount Theater opening for Miss Patti Scalfa.
Yeah.
Which is another pretty big pat on the back from somebody. Well, and her husband, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Patty came in the back door, like, when we were done sound checking, and she started singing the melody to Amsterdam, and I was like, oh, my gosh, you listened to the record too? Like, it was just, she was great. Yeah.
So I think I probably asked you this while we were sitting in the park waiting for stuff to happen. How did that happen, actually? Did somebody in her camp say, hey, there's this guy Griffin House who would be great for this show?
I don't really know. I I'm not quite sure. I was in Springfield at my mom's house during the summer, and my agent called me and said, "Hey, I got the Springsteen's phone number here. They want you to call them and go take Paul and go do some shows." And I was just kind of laughing, like, really? Because I think when you decide to make the decision to go play music for a living, and you realize how many people are probably just laughing at you behind your back, thinking like, what an idiot. To have somebody like those people, invite you to play a show like that, or when you get to, meet people like that, it kind of makes you feel like, wow,
Yeah, you're definitely stepping up. You've made a lot of records for somebody who's only been making them for about 9 years or something. Mm-hmm. Some self-released, some on actual labels and stuff, which is why it's always bizarre, even for me, somebody who's supposed to be in this business. I've discovered a number of your albums that I didn't know existed.
Yeah, there's more out there,
kind of randomly and accidentally.
Yeah.
So that's, is it just that, you're trying to make up for all that lost time? You have, or is it, or, when the muse comes, you don't tell her to go away?
Yeah, it just kind of happens. I feel pretty lazy, actually. Because I feel like if I spent more time working at it, I would write a lot more, and then I go through periods where I write a lot, and then I go through periods where I feel like I'm not writing, but then, a year goes by and I have another record or two, ready. So my problem has kind of been I haven't had an avenue to put all the music that I write and want to record out, because I don't have anybody funding it for me. Right. I don't have anybody that can just get it going and on shelves right away. If I complete a record, I know it's going to take 6 months to get it out there, and that really frustrates me because I write so much, like I want it to be out tomorrow so I can go make my new record, and people are actually getting the record after I finish it, not
right.
a year after I'm over it, So,
right, yeah. That's just the nature of the process of the business and the turning of time. But now you also spend a lot of time on the road. Do you write more at home or when you're on the road?
More at home. It's a pretty solitary process for me. It takes a lot of time. I have to feel comfortable and by myself to do it. So
yeah, because that's like the one part of it that I have no grasp of, since I've never done it. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I know people who take a very, brill building approach to it too. They'll wake up in the morning and, regardless of how they're feeling, write a song. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're not good, sometimes they're great.
Yeah.
But the process of feeling like you're getting up and going to work, kind of thing, I think is what motivates some songwriters I know, and then others are the kind who'll be lying in bed at 4 a.m. and some phrase hits them and they have to get up and scribble it in the dark.
Yeah, that definitely happens. I've never tried to force it too much, though. I'll make myself start working, but if it doesn't happen, I just go, okay, it's not supposed to happen today, and I don't try to force words and music together, just kind of let it go, and if something happens, great.
Yeah.
Once they've outgrown their toddler seat, they're still not ready for adult safety belts alone. 4'9" is the magic number. Until then, kids need a booster seat. Make sure your little pumpkin gets there safely. Visit boosterseat.gov.
Well, it can be a real long road. It can be a lonely night when you're on your own and you're running out of light. It can be a real long ride when you're running out of time. So when the time is right, don't hold back. When the time is right, don't hold back. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you've been, doesn't matter where you start, it only matters where you end. It can be a real long road when I'm looking in your eyes. Give me just one more chance. Give me just one more try. When the time is right, don't hold back. When the time is right, don't hold back. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you've been, doesn't matter where you start, it only matters where you end. When the time is right, don't hold back. When the time is right, don't hold back. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you've been, doesn't matter where you start, it only matters where you end.
Griffin House here on 90.5 tonight, along with Clint on the electric guitar. I'm trying to, think of what it is about your, relatively quiet, late to the game part of your career that is resonating so much with people. And I think I've come up with two things. One is, even for stuff that people have never really heard before, like I remember that day in the park, that night in the park, you actually played a song that's on the new album, but it wasn't on an album at that time, Standing at the Station.
Yeah. And
then you also did a song that was on the record at that time, Flying Upside Down, It's Happening Again, I remember. But the other thing of it is, I think, and this might be just because I grew up listening to people like Elvis Costello, that you are great at turning a phrase. I mean, even something like The Guy That Says Goodbye to You Is Out of His Mind is not only the longest song title of that year, It takes, it's a subject that 8 million songs have been written about, but just using that phrase that way, I think sticks out to people.
Yeah.
Like Josh Ritter, who I'm sure you guys know.
Sure.
He's another one who's great at just, taking what seems to be a mundane sentiment and just twisting the words in such a way that you go, damn, I wish I'd thought of that.
Yeah, he's a fantastic writer. Yeah.
My favorite is the first line of Kathleen. All the other girls here are stars. You are the northern lights. Like every guy goes, damn, I wish I'd thought of that.
It begins innocently enough. You don't return a phone call. You break a date at the last minute. But in fact, it's the beginning of a pattern. And soon, your friend with mental illness realizes you're avoiding them. But what if you knew that your friendship was the key to their recovery? Would you still lock them out of your life?
So I want to thank you, Griffin House, for stopping by tonight and having some time with us. And you too, Clint, even though you didn't say anything. But that's okay. You're here to play guitar. Yeah. The new album is called The Learner. It is out now. You've heard us play a couple of songs from it. You're going to actually play a song from Flying Upside Down, which I've said, whatever year that was, 2007, 2008.
Somewhere around there.
To this day, it is one of the best albums of that year, as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
Thanks, Griffin.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Clint.
Well, you don't need to change a thing about you, babe. I'm telling you, from where I sit, you're one of a kind. Relationships, I don't know why, they never work out and they make you cry. But the guy that says goodbye to you is out of his mind. Well, I've been down and I need your help. I've been feeling sorry for myself, don't hesitate to boost my confidence. I've been lost and I need direction. I could use a little love protection. What do you say, honey? Come to my defense. I'll stand up for you if it's what you need, and I can take a punch. I don't mind to bleed, as long as afterwards you feel bad for me. And you give me all of your attention. I got deep desire and it needs quenching. I think that's pretty plain for you to see. Well, enough about me and more about you, 'cause that'd be the gentlemanly thing to do. I hope you like your men sweet and polite. I thought I was done with telling you, but I'm not nearly halfway through. I got a few more things I'd like to say to you tonight, so get ready. You don't need to change a thing about you, babe. I'm telling you, from where I sit, you're one of a kind. Relationships, I don't know why, they never work out and they make you cry. But the guy that says goodbye to you is out of his mind, out of his mind. Now you always did kinda drive me crazy, and it pissed me off 'cause I let it faze me. But I never wanted my time with you to end. Now I'm back in town for a day or two, and mostly I came back just to see you.
I'm leaving now, but I don't want to go. You don't need to change a thing about you, babe. I'm telling you, from where I sit, you're one of a kind. Relationships, I don't know why, they never work out and they make you cry. But the guy that says goodbye to you is out of his mind. Mr. Izzy, he was busy with the dizzy Miss Lizzie. They were grinning while spinning around. In a chair over there with her beautiful hair was a woman singing, bringing me down. I was hoping you were joking when you said that you loved